Wow.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the May 5th, 2021 full Pedestrian Advisory Committee meeting. Just to note that this meeting may involve the remote participation by members, either by telephone or other electronic means, due to the local public health emergency, novel coronavirus pandemic, pursuant to the provisions of Minnesota Statute Section 13D-021. So thank you, everyone, for being here. The first thing we do, I think, Millicent, is the roll call.
Yes. Aaron? Abigail?
Here.
Adelaide?
Here.
Barb? Here. Hoffer?
Here.
Christopher Ross? Donna? Jim Welsh? Julia? Matthew Steinwerk? Neil?
Here.
Paul St. Martin?
Here.
Peter Vader?
Here.
Sarah Goodell? Tamir? Carrie? Emily? Emma? Eric? Tom? Heidi?
Here.
Julie?
Here.
Yeah.
Chensmo? Ratana?
Here.
Sonia?
Here.
Suzanne?
Here.
Millicent? Yes, I'm here. Chris Kartheiser? Matthew Deardaw?
Yes, here.
Here. Sorry, unmuting.
Is there anyone here that I didn't call their name?
I got here late.
That Julia?
Yep.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Millicent, you didn't call my name. This is Jordan Kosak. I'm replacing Emily as the new rep for Hennepin County. So I will be attending these into the future in place of Emily.
I know that. Thank you very much. I should have put your name down. Tom, I see you. Are you here?
Yes, sorry, I'm still handling my 5-month-old.
Okay, that's great. Okay, we have 18 present.
Lovely, thank you. So I think we do have a couple new agency reps, and maybe Matthew, at the end of our report outs, we could kind of give a quick moment for their introduction.
That sounds great.
Thank you. Next up is the adoption of the agenda and of the current agenda for tonight, and the acceptance of the minutes from the April 7th full advisory committee meeting. I guess we'll do another voice vote roll call.
Yes. So I'll call over the people that are present. So Abigail?
Yes.
Lady?
Yes.
Barb?
Yes.
Hopper?
Yes.
Thea?
Yes.
Neil? Neil?
That's me.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you approve the minutes?
Oh, of course.
Paul?
Yes.
Peter?
Aye.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay. Heidi?
Matthew, I think do
You say
We don't need agency members for
All
the
right.
PAC, just the.
you're
appointed.
correct. Okay, sorry about that.
Say, Millicent. Who's the second name you call?
What do you mean? The second name?
It was me. It was Adelaide.
Yep,
I'm
she's
missing
voted
somebody.
both times.
There's 9. Well, maybe
I can send you the spreadsheet when we're done, Neil.
Right.
Okay, we have 8 approved.
I saw Peter Vader counting on his fingers, so I'm pretty sure we have quorum.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I don't, yeah.
He seemed
Yeah,
confident
8.
during counting, so,
Julia made 8.
okay.
Yep.
Great. So that means we can pass all the resolutions as long as everybody votes. Wonderful. So the first thing we have on the agenda is the Infrastructure and Engineering Subcommittee report.
Okay, I'll be looking down through this because I'm reading from my paper here on my desk. This was the April 15th meeting. I opened the meeting with an announcement that we were going to use hand raising method for those on the computer. People on the phone can jump in whenever they need to. We would like to go one at a time for questions, and we might call on members of the team that have not yet offered a comment. We're trying to hope that everyone will be able to participate and has a chance to say what they want to say. We started the meeting with the 37th Avenue Northeast reconstruction. Forrest Hardy and Alabelle Mahari from the city of Minneapolis, and Heather Kientz and Casey Akins from the design group SEH. I'm not sure what that stands for. Central Avenue to this project goes from Central Avenue to Northeast to Stinson Boulevard. It's a truck route with 2 lanes today with parking on both sides of the street. It will be a complete reconstruction of 1 mile segment in 2023 with curb and gutter as well as sidewalk and trail improvements, safety improvements, greening, and other stormwater enhancements. Partners are the city of Columbia Heights, because part of this project goes into city of Columbia Heights and also city of St. Anthony. The goals were to improve safety for all users, reconnect employment centers and truck corridors, provide substantial investment and transportation benefit. The project schedule of 2021, the preliminary design, 21-22 final design, and 2023 construction. They have proceeded with a trail on the north side of 37th Avenue due to connectivity on the west and trails on the east. Adding left turn lanes on Central Avenue North to prevent rear end accidents and protect people in crosswalk from rapid left turns, with truck route loading to accommodate WB40 semi truck, which causes some impact on intersections and how we can do the turns. Questions, Matthew, at southeast corner of Central and 37th Avenue due to control vehicle. Could they do a truck apron to tighten the radius that way? Atkins said we can take a look at that. Aaron Berger asked, with the number of curb cuts on the north side, will you make sure that there is not cross slope on the trail? Atkins said the trail will generally have priority and the 9-foot boulevard helps avoid the aprons. Julia asked, we'd like to see allowable ADA ramps. Is there a way to make sure driveways can function to receive pedestrians? Atkins, driveways are a work in progress and we need to make sure that the truncated domes are there to help guide people while letting them know that they're in a driveway. We had a call for a resolution. This is the resolution, I'll read it. The Pedestrian Advisory Committee supports the proposed design at the 37th Avenue Northeast Reconstruction Project. We support the placement of the multi-use path on the north side of 37th Avenue Northeast, but we request that cross slope be maintained by giving the multi-use path priority at each of the numerous curb cuts that intersect with it. We ask that all legal pedestrian crossings be built. We support tabled trail crossings and pedestrian crossings at 37th Place Northeast and ask that the refuge median at the intersection of 37th Avenue Northeast and Northeast Hollywood Avenue be built to 8 feet. We further ask that the smallest allowable design vehicle be used for designing curb radii to enable the tightest turn radii possible. We ask that the truck aprons be considered.
Second.
Any discussion? Do you have to ask for that, don't you? I don't, it's not my place.
Oh, any discussion? Great. So I guess we should just, is this the only action we have for I&E?
That's the only one for INE. Yep. This
Great.
is the end of my report.
Oh, just the one project. I guess then we'll take it to a vote.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Abigail,
Yes.
Adelaide,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Christopher Hopper.
Uh,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
yeah, finally, I just couldn't get the mute off. Yes. in
Okay.
fact. Yes.
Julia,
Yes.
Bill,
Yeah,
Paul St. Martin, do you vote?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Peter,
Aye.
that's 8. Yes.
oh.
Okay.
No, that's it.
Thanks, Barb. I'm sure it was odd to have an I&E meeting that only had like one project instead of 5.
Very, very odd, yeah. But what are you gonna do? It was fun.
Yeah. Makes for probably a little more fun time to discuss and talk. So that's nice. Awesome. I guess then on to the programs and policies report.
Mm.
Say, Julia, do you want to kick us off with that, with the first topic? Because I'm going to find that resolution that we have to, isn't at my fingertips, but we have a resolution for the CIP that I want to make sure is in front of us. So we have the tactile strip there.
Yep. So Katie White came in to talk to us about the Hennepin Avenue downtown efforts that are going on. They are evaluating the tactile strip that's been installed through most, but not all of that stretch of Hennepin downtown is being reconstructed in 2 portions. The first portion is nearly fully complete, which is the away from the river, southern, western, however you're oriented in downtown portion. And the city is talking to us and to property owners who are responsible for clearing the sidewalks, but not the bus lane or not the bike lanes, and to others to try and get a sense of how things are working with those strips. So we gave a little bit of feedback, asked some questions. If you notice anything when you're out there, they're still open to that. And Katie is the lead on that piece. So that's kind of, I would say, is there anything anybody else has to add to that one? Alrighty. We also went over the Pack Glossary that we started putting together some years ago, and just gave a very brief overview. So if you're noticing words, terms, things that you find yourself realizing you haven't always known, or that you're still curious about, it's something that we've been trying to pull together so that new members in particular, but all of us have a resource that we can go to have a shared understanding of different words that pop up a lot and are not necessarily intuitive. Just to make it a little easier to participate in PAC stuff. I'm just going through the things while Peter finds the actions.
So who's putting together this Pack Glossary?
So that, I'm trying to remember who has edit access right now. It's something that I started, I believe, I don't remember if you were part of that conversation. I think Shayna was, and Tall Julia was. I don't remember if anybody else was adding to it initially, but other people have added to it since then.
Well, my question is not who participated. My question is where the hell is it so I can drop more in?
I
don't give a damn who participated. I want to know if we got everything.
I'm sure do not have everything because there's so many terms, and it popped up on the screen by magic here, which is great. So yeah, it's. I can
It
send.
would be good to get a Word version, or maybe whoever. I think Peter made it, or.
I started it in this a spreadsheet, but whatever I think makes sense for other people working on it. Very much work in progress.
So this is still privy to you. 3 others or?
Sorry, I didn't catch what you said, Neil.
Well, likewise, I'm still trying to figure where do I look at this?
It is in a shared Google document.
Oh, when are we going to present it?
So we can't store things on the city's website. We had some conversation in the last PNP meeting about exactly where it would live or how it would be accessible, because it's intended as an internal document, not necessarily external, and sort of as an informal living document. Since
so we can't send it out in an email.
We can send it out in an. I think we can, and I'm trying to remember the rules around that with this. The meetings are a little confusing to me, so I wasn't the one who sent it out, and I can definitely share it with you specifically from what I have. And
That'd
I don't.
be great.
Okay.
But I still want to know who's going to get the benefit of the people who actually need to get the benefit. In other words, new people.
So
by July.
Yeah, the worst.
Otherwise, it's not worth doing.
Right. Totally agree. Well, I kind of had fun on my portion, but
Either publish the damn thing or we don't. And there probably are complications, like for instance, nobody deaf, nobody blind can read it. But
I think it should be, since it's not a PDF, I think it should be in a type that people can use, like word text to auditory functions, I believe. I don't like.
Yeah, maybe.
I think, but that might not be very easy. I don't know what format's best. Maybe we'll decide it's not necessary, but we can at least test out what we have with new members onboarding in July.
You're set. However, but Donna's the expert on what you can actually read.
Yeah, yeah.
We could. What we have is supremely editable, but it's not. It isn't in glossary presentation form, and we talked about different ways of doing it. And we could publish as we get them. Turn the editable document into a glossary. Where it's simply a term or an acronym, and then then just a definition underneath, one after the other. Either alphabetical order or separated into categories, but I think alphabetical order is glossary style standard or whatever. But so so right now we're hoping we can invite, however it works within the rules, to invite people in to edit as they certainly viewable by anyone, and then edit as they feel comfortable or able to contribute. There's a lot of resources out there. It was pointed out in the minutes that there's there's plenty of city policy documents that can inform and give us authoritative definitions, and hopefully also readable and understandable definitions at the same time.
I have to tell everybody, I'm getting 2 voices from everybody, and it's driving me crazy.
Neil, that's because there's 2 of you in this meeting.
Yep. So how did that happen?
I'm gonna try to kick one of you out.
Yeah, kick one of you off.
I also want to say I've heard a couple people refer to like the rules. This is not official business. There are no rules. We can all have access. We can talk about it. No worries on this one. I'll just say that.
Perfect.
Say, Julia, we got the PDF now, but would you be able to send me a link for the Google Docs? And then I know that Peter and I are going to do some, Peter, maybe we should divvy up some, and so we don't inadvertently double up or something.
Sure.
And then how just renew the invitation for somebody if they want to take a few and fill them in, and we could, once we get sort of all the names in the hat that want to do it, we could just probably say you take the first 10 and you take the next 15 or whatever it might be. But yeah, Julie, if you could send me that link, that'd be great. The PDF is helpful, but I'll just enter into the docs. So.
Yes, and just to confirm, Peter, do I have access to the most recent? Whoever came up with acronyms, I really like it. But that was a nice little touch. But I'm assuming that was you, Peter, and I'm assuming that I still have access to that.
Right. Yeah. And I accessed it through your facility or whatever. So I don't know. He wouldn't. So
Then I will share it with both Neil and Christopher. And anyone else can email me if you also want to. It's just a working document.
Thank you.
Yep. You have those action items, Peter?
hey, I'm seeing links in the chat for let's see what the first link brings up, and that will be our next item. So that's it. So the first one is the I got all the draft resolutions. There it is. And the next one, relevant to our business, is our response to the CIP funding cuts. The minutes are extensive from our meeting, and I thank you for that. Thank you for those, Barb. We had the biggest component of it was we were advised on a $56 million diminished amount in terms of available bond funding for over the next 5-year period, and where those cuts were going to manifest themselves in projects over that time. It's extensive minutes on that. You can review at your leisure. But we did generate a resolution pointed to the by percentage and by dollar amount. A real. We saw as a overly severe cut to Vision Zero in the next year, and I am going to read that resolution right now, and it's our PAC response to CIP funding cuts. And the resolution reads: the Pedestrian Advisory Committee calls for rescinding the proposed cuts to Vision Zero program VZ001 within CIP. Slashing VZ001 funding by 50% is antithetical to all city transportation policies, as well as racism as a public health crisis and climate emergency declarations. The PAC asks that the funding be replaced, as it should be the topmost priority of public works to reach Vision Zero. And a resolution.
Second.
Thank you.
I guess any comments on it or edits?
I have a question. Instead of using the word rescinding, do you want to use the word restoring? Because rescinding means that something has already been passed and you're rescinding it. And it's really just it's a proposal.
Well, it is. Right. You can rescind a proposal. Right. Like it's like not rescinding the cut, we're rescinding the proposed cut.
No, well, as in you can't rescind something that hasn't happened, and the cut is just proposed. Is that, so it seems to me that you want them to put the money back, not add money if that makes any sense. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just a thing. It's just a word thing.
And I would say, if it hasn't been proposed or cut as yet, right? So that's or it hasn't been cut yet. So I think that word could be to rejecting the proposed cuts, or
you could say restoring the full funding.
Yes, that's exactly that. I was just going to say that.
But I think Adelaide, I think your point works for both of those. If
right,
you can't restore or rescind if it hasn't happened, right? So rejecting the proposed cuts feels right.
Yeah.
Then instead of calls for, you want to say rejects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we can't really reject.
Right.
Oh, right.
We can admonish, but this goes to city council, and we want city council to reject public work proposed cuts.
So then you would say call for a full, council to reject.
Council to reject the proposed cuts.
Yeah.
Calls for. Perfect. So the council, Matthew, or should we say city council?
I would say, if you're going to say it's city council, but is it to city council or public works or both, I guess.
I mean, my thought was that this was first to go to Public Works, so before.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Before this goes to council, we want Public Works to like fix what they did to Vision Zero.
Yeah, this feels like a Public Works recommendation. I agree.
Could we also ask them to double the funding for Vision Zero?
I feel like we're gonna be better asking for exactly what we need than trying, you know.
They're gonna
because this one's action.
Okay.
And Julia, I'll just point out that you all did ask for that in your CIP resolution previously, and that was already considered by Public Works, and they came back with the same level. And then this cut is from the separate kind of incident that happened where we need to make up funding.
Any other edits or thoughts?
Thank you for that, Adelaide.
You're welcome.
All right.
Can I invite on this, I guess we have to vote. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Peter.
It's adjacent to this, but different, because I at some point, if we talk about throughout the PNP meeting itself, I don't know if there's a general assumption or just mine that the cuts were due to a COVID era related, surprise. In our executive call, it was explained to me that was not the case, and if to the extent the minutes don't reflect the reasons for the shortfall, I wouldn't mind hearing about that again for the full membership.
That would be awesome. Was that from Matthew?
Sorry, I was moving locations. The question was basically why is there funds? I'll give my my best best explanation. I'm not on the on the team the capital team that was deciding this, but my understanding is that there was like a miscalculation of some sort in terms of how much money was sort of available for the CIP, the 5 years of CIP projects, so that that dollar amount was significantly less over the 5-year period, and so the changes or the need for changes was based on some type of calculation error, and so it wasn't like a COVID, at least that's my understanding, like a COVID like necessary change. It was more of a kind of a calculation thing. If that's if the committee would like a more detailed reason, I could get that from our team.
Well, I'm not asking for that.
Okay.
That is helpful, so thank you, Matthew.
Yep.
Thank you. We can. Is the next thing we have is a. Is that getting a vote? I'm going to say. I was going to see if we're going to take care of 2 resolutions with 1 vote. So is that in resolution form the endorsement we're proposing to add to the letter regarding the Public Works Director search? Is that going to be subject to a vote?
Oh yeah, so let's vote on this one, and then I think the Public Works Director search will want to kind of give the full overview of that one, and then we can vote.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Then
okay. Abigail?
Yes.
Yes.
Adelaide, was that you?
Yes.
Barb?
Yes.
Christopher?
Yes.
Christopher Hoffrey?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Julia?
Yes.
Neil? Neil, you want to vote? Okay. Paul St. Martin?
Yes.
Did you want to vote?
Paul said yes.
Yes.
Okay, Paul, and then Peter, you want to vote?
Aye.
Neil, do you want to vote? You're on mute. I have to hear your voice. You're on mute. Can you take yourself off mute?
Neil, if you scroll over your screen, you should get that little microphone. I think you know.
I'm wondering if the Neil that I removed was the audio, because like he had two.
Right.
Anyway.
No, because before the Neil with the camera was the one speaking.
Good call.
Muted
Good.
the audio.
Good point.
But then it had both. They both had sound.
Okay.
Sometimes, Neil, like you can also go to, if you click on the little people bubble, you can go to yourself. But there should be a bar at the bottom of your screen. If it's not showing up, then it's probably because your computer's slower. And we need Neil's vote, right? Or we don't have majority?
No, we don't.
We
We have a quorum established, so it's
Once
okay.
forum's established, we don't lose it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So Neil, we love you, but we'll just move on and then hopefully you can unmute later.
Oh, he's waiting in the lobby. Okay.
I guess, Peter, you can.
Okay. So we have dispensed with the public, with the CIP portion. Okay. Next on PIP is we waited is to weigh in on the Public Works Director search that's underway at the city of Minneapolis, searching for a new Public Works Director. And in the minutes, we discussed how how important it was to do a national search, conduct a national search, and someone with a progressive pet and bike vision. Can we bring the letter up?
Give me a minute.
It's in the minutes.
So,
I think
am
Neil's
I
back.
on this thing now?
Yeah,
No.
you're in.
Neil, we can hear you and there are two of you.
Yeah, they sure as hell are. So I'm not talking to this thing
Okay.
again.
You
And,
can,
I'll just not say anything though.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, and the fine organizations, Streets MN, wrote a letter to the directed to the mayor on the subject of the search and the importance of conducting a national search and endorsing a national search and all the good things that could bring. That's been available online. Do we want? Is this are we reading it?
No, your resolution is to just accept it, so I would just read the resolution. That would be my recommendation.
Terrific. Okay, thank you.
And this was attached to the updated agenda, so hopefully everybody got a chance to take a look.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
And there's the resolution on the Public Works Director search that the Minneapolis Pedestrian Advisory Committee agrees with the principles outlined in the attached public letter to Mayor Fry and endorses a national search for the position of Public Works Director.
Second.
Thank you.
I think we've missed the word before principles, the principles outlined. Or do we need it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Either way.
Yeah, it works.
It's better with
Great.
the.
Yeah. Otherwise, it might imply that there are some principles you don't agree with.
True.
No, that's absolutely fair. Yeah, absolutely syntactically.
Great. I love
If there's discussion, I will note that that job posting is out for a national search. So,
Yay.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Then we were subject to any discussion, or we can proceed to a vote absent that. Sounds like we can proceed to vote.
Okay. Abigail,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Christopher Hopper,
Yes.
Julia,
Yes.
Neil,
I
yes,
to both resolutions.
to you. Paul St. Martin,
Aye.
Peter.
Aye.
Right. We have 8 votes of yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And with that, subject to anyone's questions about the meeting, completes our report for PNP for April. Thank you.
Thanks. And it says on here highway on-off ramps, and I think at the meeting, the discussion was just that it's going to be addressed at the next meeting. Okay. Okay, good. I'm getting nods. So cool. So stay tuned for highway on-off ramp discussion at the next PNP, hopefully. With that, before we do announcements, Matthew, did you want to do a quick hello to a few new agency reps?
I guess what I would say is I hadn't prepared that, but I do. So Jordan, who are the other ones? If the relatively new agency reps want to introduce themselves and or coming back or whatnot, feel free. Maybe starting with Jordan. And Jordan, when's the last time you were at a PAC meeting? Probably years ago.
I think maybe the last time was when we were still in person. I know I've been to some like subcommittee meetings in the past. Yeah, I am Hennepin County's pedestrian and bicycle coordinator. So I'm Matthew's counterpart over at the county. And Emily Cattell, she was on our multimodal team here at Hennepin County, but she recently took a new position within the county, but working more in our capital budget side of things. And so that's what Emily and I had sort of been dividing our resources. I have been attending the BAC meetings as a county rep, but with her moving to that new position, I'll just be attending both the PAC and BAC, which I think makes a lot of sense anyways. So.
The PAC is notoriously kind to Hennepin County in its comments, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I've heard rumors of the love fest that takes place, so I'm really, really glad to be here.
Oh yeah, you can feel the love. Hey, Jordan, could you please tell me the name for me?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that, Neil. Could you say that one more time?
I need the spelling of your name.
Oh, yes. So first name Jordan, Jordan. Last name Kosak, that's KOC as in cat, AK.
Oh, good.
And I guess one last thing about me is I guess similar to Matthew and Millicent, I help run our county's bike advisory committee, and I think members on this committee might be happy to know that the Hennepin County Bike Advisory Committee is actually in the process of expanding their mission and guiding principles to be inclusive of people walking and rolling. And as part of that, would even look to change their name to the Active Transportation Committee. That's something that the committee's been working on for quite a while now, and it's actually in our sort of administrative process to go to our county board to be formally adopted, have that change formally adopted in the committee's charter. So I think that's really a positive step forward for them. I think that our committee recognized that people walking and rolling were also really important to address, and we were sort of informally already thinking about those people in our discussions, and this just kind of formalizes it and makes it an official part of that committee's function.
Awesome, thank you. And then I know Heather has moved off from, I think, the Department of Health. So I was going to introduce, Tom, if you haven't introduced yourself before to the full committee.
Yeah, hi.
So Heather's actually just moving over to the BAC. So she's still with the health department. She's just a little more involved in that space. So I'm stepping in to the PAC to be the health department's rep.
Awesome.
So Tom, what's your full name?
Tom, Tom, Tao, Thao.
Well, you've been here before.
Yeah. Yep. So I've been in for about the last month or so.
Yeah. And we got to have a nice little one-on-one chat about just ways that we can make sure that, you know, we can support each other and everything. So I'm excited to have Tom here.
Excited to be here.
Good. We'll be much nicer on you than we will be on Jordan. So.
Yeah, Jordan.
I'll say the PAC is nice to the people, hard on the institution, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Better put. Thank you, Matthew. Is there anyone else new that we're missing that would love to say hello?
I want to introduce my second voice.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm actually schizophrenic and colors two votes.
Double the peanut gallery.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Endorsement.
Great. Well, then, without further ado, we'll move to announcements. If anybody has any.
I have a couple. So we have. I'm not going to say. I don't know if I like. I don't know if it's appropriate for me to say who isn't going to reapply. So maybe I'll wait and give those people an opportunity either at this meeting or next month. But we will have some brand new people for sure. And so that's exciting. But the application period closed. We're in the review process now, and we'll bring recommendations to council, to the TMPW committee in one of the two June meetings. So we'll be guaranteed to have a few new members and likely returning members as well. And then second announcement is something that we need to stew on a little bit more, but you know, as you know, there's been like a lot of changes with the clerk's office over the past year, and this is something that Abigail, I would have liked to give you a heads up on, and maybe the executive committee. But what we need to do is like what we're being asked to do is like to create essentially a list of members for the subcommittees. So like right now it's basically like the full membership is like the committee for all three subcommittees, and the clerk's office is, I don't know if uncomfortable with that is the right word, but they're advising that there should be like lists for them. So what we need to do is like the minimum number that we can have for each subcommittee is 4, which makes a 3 quorum. And again, I'm just giving you a heads up right now. We need to work out some things, but essentially what's going to need to happen is we're going to need to have 4 names of you appointed members for each of the 2 subcommittees, and then the quorum becomes 3. So I'll pause, see if there's any questions on that now. Otherwise, I'll probably email. We'll talk about it as an exec committee in a couple weeks, but I'll probably also email, you know, Abigail, you the chair, and the co-chairs of all the subcommittees, and we'll figure out how to do that.
Cool.
Set quorum of 3, is that meaning it would have to be 3 of the 4 listed?
Yeah.
Names? Okay.
Yeah.
And then if the quorum is 3, obviously that means it makes it like easier to hold a meeting to just have 4 people, and then just 3 of them have to be there. If other PAC members meet, because I know some attend both, but some not always, can PAC members always? Well, I guess we don't vote at subcommittees, so it doesn't matter. So the only thing that matters is that we reach quorum, so we can just like hold the meeting.
Right.
Okay, so that's why you just want 4 names.
Yeah, I would have been happy with 0.5 of a person, but we figured out what the minimum was, and it was 4. So.
Is there a reason why you can't just tell the clerk's office that like just to like shove it because it doesn't matter? Or
Right.
There is a reason. There is a reason I can't do that. I can't.
Maybe we should.
Okay.
We,
Just
I'd love to.
anyway.
What's the goal of it? What problem are they solving, or what's the like conceptual, the theory behind it?
That's a good question. I'm not sure that I can't tell if I don't understand it or if I don't agree with it yet. I need to figure that out. But I think
they're trying to avoid the subcommittees. And I think they do pass motions, at least pass the motion language to forward it to this full body. And they're trying to have that not happen without a quorum. And so if it's just a cut and paste of all the voting members of the PAC, but we only have 5 people there, ostensibly they won't have a quorum. So this is actually a good thing on paper. The problem is going to be picking the 4 names. Like my first blush thought was make it the 2 co-chairs and whoever the chair and vice chair are, because they generally go. But you know, if something happens and 2 of those 4 get hung up or something, then the whole thing breaks down. So, but I would suggest that.
It doesn't.
And it's
wait. I thought of a reason, and Christopher, I appreciate yours. I think that sounds good to me. That sounds right. There's also like a uniformity goal that the clerk's office is looking for across the 50 plus boards and commissions, and so I think the goal is to just not have these like fairly loosey-goosey subcommittees, which that is kind of what it is, right? Meaning like anyone can show up and just have the meeting, and I think that's a really positive thing, and I wish we could keep it. But you know, if you look at the city council, they have like the subcommittee structure of like TMPW is a subcommittee of city council, and they have 6 identified members and quorum and follow all those rules and stuff. But so that's where we are now, and it may even change in the future, which we'll get to that if we need to. But I just wanted to give you a heads up. I heard about this today. I just wanted to give you a heads up sooner than later. So
I have one question, Ms. Barb. Then I think we need to look at what our requirements are for being on the committee, because one of the requirements is that you have to attend at least 1 subcommittee, but it doesn't say you have to attend every time. You could go to one month and 1 the next month. So maybe we need to clarify that in our expectations of board members.
I actually don't. I think it's not a written down expectation. Actually, we always give a verbal expectation. It's something that we've all agreed on. Is that you should attend the full committee and pick a subcommittee. But I don't think that's actually a requirement in the bylaws. I think the bylaws basically just say you can't have like more than 3 unexcused absences or something like that. But again, I also have to say it's like the bylaws are sort of an internal governing structure that you all have. That's not even officially recognized by the city. So.
All righty.
In terms of what Christopher brought up, my understanding is anybody can bring forward a resolution to the full committee that's already drafted in a meeting.
Yeah,
I think that's true, but I think the subcommittees also forward. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't know we don't really vote on the subcommittees. I think a couple times we have, if I remember correctly, but generally we don't. It's just kind of write it and move it on. This sounds to me like was developed by somebody who puts their books on their shelves in order by height.
Yeah. That's similar thing.
Enough said, Christopher.
So it solves their problems, creates something for the committee.
Peter, did you also have a comment or a question?
No, I'll save it till we have more information on it. So if it just came out today, I won't. So no was the answer.
Oh, Heidi has an announcement or a question.
Oh no, just a question. Thank you. Matthew, do you know, will the notices still go to the meeting notices for the subcommittee still go to the full committee, or just the members?
Yeah, frankly, I think this is like yes. Okay, so what I'll say is you'll also have the Outlook invite. You'll all still get the Gov delivery agenda. it's just that they need, I feel like they need a set of names with a quorum. And so we asked explicitly what the minimum was and found out it was 4. And so, Chris, I know you've been trying to get in on this. What, you want to help too?
Oh, I actually wasn't. I raised my hand for a different thing. But
oh, gotcha.
Since you prompted me, I'll just say, like, this is new. This is today. And, like, part of the reason Matthew wanted to tell everyone today that this quorum thing could happen at any moment. So we thought it made more sense to, like, get it in front of you. But there's obviously a lot of things we don't know the answer to long term, and, like, good questions that you're all having. And so, like, we want to work with you to deal with this in the best way possible to make sure that all the work, like all the questions that Heidi just brought up and everything like that, we still function well as a committee. So I'll add that out. I'm going to keep my hand up just for the next thing that I have.
Matthew, did you have any other announcements? Or, all right, Julie, was yours a question or an announcement?
Question. Like, do we know if that'll have to be the same people?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing. I think, I mean, it's the same people until we change it.
So we could maybe change it every month. I
doubt it. I don't think it's like, I don't think it would be like that. I think it would be like if there's a change in the structure or the officers or something like that.
Okay.
But
so why not just have everybody in the pack?
Then we have to
on both committees.
Because then quorum is 8, and we rarely hit that in our subcommittees.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
This has got to be because the city clerk's office thinks that our 2 subcommittees pass motions, and as a policy or practice, we don't do that. So it's not really applicable to us, but it sounds like we must conform.
Christopher, it is not just because of that. And the reason I say that is it's more like from their eyes, there has to be a list of people and there has to be a quorum because you cannot start a meeting without that.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
But
yeah,
regardless, because I brought up like, well, we don't even officially pass motions now at subcommittees, and we could just not pass any. But that wasn't so. Like even under the even if it was like we'll never pass a motion, an official motion at subcommittees, it was still like that's the thing. It's like there's got to be names at the top of the agenda, and there's got to be a quorum. Like it's almost like that simple.
Yeah,
I think
that's we can accommodate that because I think the co-chairs should be obviously 2 of the 4, and then
we have regular attendance from several people also, and Julia's at every single meeting. So I mean that's 1. So then we just need like 1 more, you know.
I think, Matthew, we look forward to hearing from more, and we also look forward to hearing if there's any discrepancy changes, given that agency members of the BAC vote and ours don't. So do they count as part of their list, and can they still only have 4 out of such a big number of people? And it kind of just changes the game quite a bit. So I think that's something that we look forward to hearing more about when you know more.
Well, I do know that it is 4 for both. So you're right. Like I can be 1 on the BAC.
Right. And that just seems unfair.
Right.
So the pack can show up as 1. It says we have 16 members and you're not voting.
Yeah, I'm not voting though. I don't come to quorum.
Where the BAC has voting members. So anyway, I think that's a massive discrepancy that you should ask the clerk's office about, because that changes the game. And if they're looking for conformity among 50 commissions, they should look first at who votes, not who's quorum at a subcommittee that doesn't vote. So anyway, we look forward to hearing more. Any other announcements? Christopher? Okay, go ahead, Julia.
I would like to see if we can get the city clerk to come in and talk to us at a P&C, because they're doing a lot of things that are a little confusing and might help us to be able to ask them questions and get a sense, so that we're not just in compliance with the letter of it, but whatever they're going for in terms of transparency and accessibility, because I think we share those goals.
Okay, what do you think about that?
Okay.
Matthew, your thoughts? Sorry.
In response to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can ask. It is. I found it is tough whenever the Packerback says like we should get this person into the committee. Like it's I don't know. The reaction's varies between.
We appreciate you asking.
Yes, I will ask. Absolutely.
We can take up subpoena power at the next PNP too.
Nice.
All right.
Christopher, do you have, or Chris, do you have an announcement? Sorry, I see your hand up.
Yeah, our CIP team asked me to share that there is an associate transportation planner position open. So that's in my group. I don't know if anyone in this group has that experience, but they wanted us to share that with the Pack in the Back. Feel free to share it with other folks if you would have an idea of other people who might be interested. And that's filling Abdullahi's role, who some of you may know, who went to MnDOT to be their transportation equity coordinator, which is a very cool position. He's doing big things. But so yeah, if you're interested, feel free to email me or send other folks my way or Matthew's way, and we can get you connected with the job posting. It's also just, you can Google like City of Minneapolis jobs, and it's in the open jobs category.
Could you send that link out?
I think I can do that.
Okay. And do you have anything beyond what was for us to keep in mind if we're letting people know about it to share?
I'll just say we want people with all sorts of experiences, so don't hold back. I guess if you think that it might be for you, then I would encourage you to apply, or the same for anyone else you might think of. Yeah.
Cool, thanks. Anybody else have an announcement? Okay.
I'll move to adjourn.
Wonderful. Quick moving meeting. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well, everyone have a good evening.
Yep.
Thanks all, you too.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right.